Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show, training our horses and miniature cows in ranch versatility. Penning Rusty and Susie, our bull and heifer. Roping Rusty with Morgan horse, Semi. Training Eve to drive cart. Training Eve to work over her haunches with a motor cow simulator. Training Eve to lay down. Training Eve to harness, pull a log. Training Semi to harness, pull a log on turf. Liberty jumping to music with our horses who are our partners. Training Eve on a cow roping simulator. Training on our driveway, which is covered by sand, so we have a straight track. Stepping over poles, jumping over crossbar jumps. Training in our trail obstacles course. Sadie doing obstacles without rein control. Training miniature Zebu bull Rusty to pull an implement. Urban Cowgirl. And today, after months of not working with Rusty and Susie, we are going to review what Rusty and Susie know about pulling, especially about pulling farm implements. We haven't done this in several months. Rosie and I are actually just going to show you how we remind ourselves and review with Rusty, my bull, what it is we want him to do. Rosie is now just waving the wand, making a little bit of noise with her garbage can lid. I'm standing behind this post or near this post so that I can protect myself if he does charge. Now, Rosie and I are going to walk together towards Rusty, and we've got the garbage can lid to help us if he does turn around and become bullish. Ooh. I would have much rather done this from the other side of the fence, which I've done many times, but he saw me and he walked away, probably for obvious reasons.
Easy.
He knows what I'm trying to do. You see how his head is down?
Easy.
Now he tends to use his head.
Nope.
You see how he tilted right out of the horns? I like a two-horn catch if I can, because then there's no soft tissue involved. He has learned how to wriggle out of it until I pull slack. Now he knows he's escaping. So we're going to hopefully show you this whole process from beginning to accomplishment of trying to tack up and use Rusty for pulling a farm implement. Rosie's going to have to bring him back here. You see, Susie, his heifer, is over on this end outside the paddock. So he's, of course, going to hang out there. So we're bringing him back. And you can see how he's tilting his head. Because I very carefully want to pull slack and not involve his ear or his eyes or any soft tissue, I just have to try to counteract his tilt. He could turn on me at any moment. Okay, I got a head catch. Or, a neck
Easy.
catch. Which is good enough. It's a legal catch, but you see, it involves soft tissue. The skin
Easy
on his
rest.
neck. Okay. But I'm going around this post with my lariat. All right. Now, Rosie's going to give me the garbage can lid and the noisemaker. Sometimes I also keep a whistle around my neck, but I didn't bring it today. this garbage can lid seems to be very effective. Now you see I have the strength of the post, and I've got Rusty very tightly wrapped to the post. He's not showing any stress from the lariat loop around his neck, so I know I'm not pulling too hard on his neck. Rosie's getting his halter ready. We'd much rather work with his halter.
Easy. Hey.
I've got him tight with the lariat. She's giving him nice, yes, petting.
Yeah, you're fine. Let's see. I know. Easy, good boy.
This is just a cavesson, nylon cavesson that I've made smaller for Rusty. I've had many a show about it. Okay, now we've got the cavesson on. If my cameraman can zoom in on the bolt that I put through the nose, just to show how I made it smaller for Rusty.
Yeah. Ooh.
And Rosie's making the strap under the nose a little tighter so that he can't accidentally pull that cavesson off his nose. We're going to show you almost microscopically here what we're doing. And you see how he's a little bit aggressive. He has hefty horns.
There.
Good. Oh, you have more. You can't make it any tighter behind the horns because of his dewlap, under his neck, or what? Can you make it a little tighter?
Maybe a little tighter.
Yeah, he's got a lot of loose skin and fur under his neck, so we always want to make sure we don't make things too tight, but not too loose either, including the collar that we have on him, which is a leather men's belt with some extra holes in it and a cowbell on it. I always like to know where my Zebus are. All right, we're good. All right, now Rosie is going to continue. I've got the lead line now in my hand, as well as I still have the lariat. And the reason we're using both for control today is just because this is review and we haven't done it for months. Rosie's putting on the nylon surcingle. Now let's see what he says about having the surcingle. After we had done this many times in the past, he was very good about letting us put this tack on. And today, that's all we're probably going to do is tack him up.
You're good.
We have the harrow ready to go with the singletree, and my cameraman will show it to you. Perhaps you can turn the camera and zoom in on it, Ed. Once we get him tacked up, once we work on lead lining him with G and ha, step up and back commands, we'll take him through this gate that will take us to that harrow and singletree. We'll hook it up. We'll put some weight on it by picking it up off the ground and pulling back on it. We'll give him the opportunity to harrow our sanded driveway.
Good boy.
All right. Now we're also going to put on the yoke. And then we put the ground driving lines on. And Rosie, did you bring the britchen?
Yep.
Okay. That's the most challenging of all, in my opinion. With both Rusty and Susie, they don't like the britchen straps across their back, across their hips. We got them both to accept those straps, the britchen, or breeching as some people call it, in the past. We got it so that they were pretty much receptive to allowing us to put it on. And then it's great to use, like to keep chains and straps up out from underneath their legs.
Easy. Good boy.
Okay, and we're putting the yoke on.
Good boy.
With this tack on, as you will ultimately see it, you will see that we are ready to do some work with Rusty.
Good boy.
Yes, that yoke was easily put on his neck. We have some extra chains to go from the yoke to the surcingle and back to the yoke to keep it straight on his neck. And these are just things that we've added to the tack as we go, as we see a need. See how nice Rusty's standing?
Yeah, you're good.
But see our safety features here, just in case his attitude changes. But so far, so good. Not a roar, not really a butt. Next, the britchen, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, now, from our experience, these mini cows don't like it when we put something on their backs close to their hips. So maybe, Rosie, first we'll just massage a little bit with your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they tend to shiver their skin.
You're good.
Quite frankly, we haven't had a kick threat from either Rusty or Susie, although I know from testimonial that they, of course, can kick like any livestock, so we're always aware of kick zone. Now, what's he going to do when Rosie places this britchen on his
good boy
hips? Can you see, Ed, with the camera?
Not the side.
Oh, easy.
Okay, he's turning
You're
around
good.
now. Let's see. Can you see it now, Ed?
You're fine.
All right.
You're fine. Oh, easy.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. There's the challenge.
Easy. Hey. Hey.
See his licking his lips?
Hey.
That's a body language sign usually of relaxation, yet in this case,
Easy.
I know he's concerned. You see how he's peeing? That happens when he's stressed.
Easy.
And now he's making a bit of a sound. I have to make sure my lariat isn't too tight.
Oh.
I want to be very careful that he doesn't get so stressed that he injures his horns. Actually, recently on the Miniature Zebu Digest, there was testimonial of a mini Zebu. I believe it was a heifer's. Horns got stuck between the rails. She pulled back so hard, one of the horns broke off. Now, okay. All right, we need to do some thinking on this. He's starting to wheeze a little bit, like my lariat is getting too tight. So I'm going to ask Ed to stop the camera. We're going to take the lariat off and use only the lariat off his neck. Put it on his horns so that we aren't accidentally constricting his respiratory passages without realizing it. We're
remember we've done this in the past where we wrap it around and then we go around this way once so he can't like untwist himself.
Yeah, we don't want him to be able to walk around the post and get to us in agitation. Okay, do you feel that that's what you did in the past?
Something like this. Let's see. Let me try this instead. Yeah, he's being okay, though.
He's being good right now. We're just trying to figure out how, as we try to deal with this britchen, we have better control over his lariat loop and coils that are giving us the confidence that he cannot butt us.
Yeah. Excuse me, I don't want to get you in the eye.
Being that it's around his horns now, we're not so concerned about getting him or us hung up in this lariat. Because his horns, in this situation, are pretty much indestructible. I don't believe a lariat can break a horn. Let's see, although the post could. Let's see what he says about standing. Okay, what I would do, Ed, if I were you, is close the camera for a moment and come back out here with this in front of this gate. Move the camera so that you can see the tack closer and the way we have Rusty tethered here. I'm a little bit worried about his right eye because he is leaning his head against this post, but on purpose we have used hardware that does not protrude so that we can't possibly hurt his soft tissue or his eyes. Now, Rosie is still trying to get him used to the feeling of the britchen. Because as we get down to actually putting that britchen on, I want to be able to point out parts of the britchen that are going to be really hard to put on, really handy to have. Rosie has been working on giving Rusty the idea that we're going to be putting something on his back. It's very sensitive in both Rusty and Susie, probably because of nature. You see, when a livestock like a horse or a cow gets attacked by a wild animal, let's say by a mountain lion, where in fact would the predator attack? Not at the head, not where the animal could stomp on them, but on their backs. So probably nature has made their backs very sensitive. And in training our livestock, we always try to understand their nature. Now you see how he's swishing his tail. Even if you don't get the crooper under the tail today, Rosie, if we can get him to accept the straps of the britchen laying on his back like this, maybe get him to stop swishing his tail, which is his natural reaction to something that he's concerned about, uncomfortable with. And you see Rosie's taking the straps from the back of the britchen, connecting them to, for the time being, the surcingle. Good, good. Now the question is, even if you don't put the crooper under the tail, can you slide that britchen down
easy
so that it falls over his hips? You see his concern.
We're kind of loose here.
As we do this more and more, he'll become more confident, more respectful, more trusting in us. And he'll allow us to do it as he did months ago. But you can see his nature is coming out, and understandably so.
Good boy.
Eventually, Rusty and Susie, like oxen and other working bovines, will be responsive to voice commands. We'll tack them up easily, and we'll be able to ask them to do the work with voice commands. You see how Rusty's avoiding Rosie, but Rosie knows we've worked together before with Rusty and Susie, knows how patient we have to be, small steps. She's touching his back. She's going to try to let that britchen fall over his hips, which she just did. All right, now we've got Ed holding on to the lariat.
Easy.
All right, and he's just moving out of the way. There you go. All right. There you go. It's almost down on his hips, probably about, you know what, Rosie?
No, I think it's adjusted to Susie.
Yes, we use the same tack for Rusty and Susie, and lo and behold, what did we do? But we adjusted it to fit Susie last time. So, all right, today's just tack fitting, and we usually...
You're all right.
We usually give tack fitting a big chunk of time because it's so important. Rusty just pooped, but he doesn't have scours, which is good. And by the way, this britchen is made out of biothane.
You hold still.
I knew that I would want to be able to hose it off after working with Rusty and Susie. So biothane looks like leather, but it's actually like a plastic that can be hosed off. And when we had the camera off, we got some little pieces of carrot to give him reward and to make sure that he's willing to eat the carrot, because if he gets really upset, he won't even eat the pieces of carrot. There we go. Now, doesn't Rusty look like a using bull? Yes, he does. And we're going to leave the britchen on as much as you had, but no more. We'll adjust it longer for next time. But
I just want to pull out his tail if I can.
Okay,
I think that's pretty distressing to have it.
Yeah. See, the tail is halfway stuck under the britchen, so she's going to just grab it, pull it out. There you go. See, but we do not have the crooper on. We're just not going to go there today. That's the crooper. It's to go under the tail.
It goes. All right. Okay.
All right. We are going to put one more piece of tack on. And that is my specially made for Zebu driving green driving lines. Just long enough so that we can get far enough behind Rusty and Susie to be in a safe position, but still have control over driving them.
You're just going to hurt yourself.
And from our experience, that cavesson that Rusty has on his head is adequate head control. We have used a side pull. We've even used a small bit. But we like to use as little and as least obtrusive tack as we can. And that nylon cavesson works fine. All right, so the next thing that Rosie's going to do, and you see that Ed is staying out of the way of Rusty because he's dancing around that post, but safely.
Easy.
As we know you see the metal edging we use on our wooden posts. No sharp corners, no screws or nails protruding, no bolts protruding, all of which could be
Easy.
dangerous.
You're fine.
Okay, now Rosie's walking around, talking to Rusty the entire time, putting the britchen, the drive lines on. Can you put the drive lines through one of the rings?
Oh, right. I did it on the other side.
Yeah,
Wasn't even thinking.
we forget that sometimes. That way, if they drop to the ground, he's not likely to step on them or step over them. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, now she's going to slowly walk behind him.
Ooh. Hey.
See how he's still dancing and still swishing his tail.
Ooh.
Still stressed. Still stressed, but it's not as bad as when we first started. It's not like we're starting over, but we are going to have to review. There's no doubt about it. Although they are very intelligent animals, they are also bovines and are naturally getting stressed by some of these things. There you go. Now Rosie is, with her fingers alone, just applying some right and left pressure on his nose. Yes, and we've explained this before. We'll show you again. G means right, ha means left. And then when we want them to go forward, we say step up, and we can just tap them on their hips, and they'll very nicely respond to that. We can ask them to back. We work on backing straight. And
I know.
yes, and there he goes. Let's see if he, is he so upset that he won't eat?
He's taking it. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. No,
you're
get his mind off his stress.
Yeah, you're a good boy.
Now, we use dog collars a lot on our Tack, both equine and bovine. You see, that's just a nylon dog collar hanging from one of the rings of the surcingle. And the reason we have it hanging there is that when we actually do hook up the single tree and the chains that go from the single tree to the cavesson, it's nice to have them
Easy.
hang up on something so that they're not constantly drooping to the ground. And dog collars are a real inexpensive but real effective way of giving you an extra hanger on your Tack. So we have dog collars in various places, and I highly recommend that you have a few on hand when you're ready to tack up. All right, can you, let's see. Can we possibly, this is going to be a group decision. Do we feel like we've done enough today, or do we want to unwrap the lariat from the post, and with Ed at the head and with the garbage can lid in his hand, along with the noisemaker, in case we need it, have Rosie just do a little bit of G and ha?
I think we could, but I also think that this would be a fine stopping point. I mean, I think they both are fine. I think he did a pretty great job, and I think we could easily do this, have this be the entire lesson, but I think that he probably could.
You know what? Then I'd like to try it. Let's try it so that we know by next lesson what we really need to work on. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the camera for a moment, and we'll just for a few minutes see if we can G and hom in this. Well, okay, we've loosened the lariat, removed it from the work area. We have the driving lines on. And as a review, the cavesson, the yoke, the surcingle, and the britchen almost completely on, except we didn't put the crupper under his tail. It's just sitting on top of his tail. And Rosie is going to do some G and ha and some step up and back right here in this small three-sided pen where Rusty and Susie find their coziness at night.
Oh.
And Ed is going to hang on to the lead line, which is just, by the way, a dog leash. And he has, for protection, for safety, his garbage can lid with his white piece of PVC. Now, Ed, you just go wherever Rosie asks Rusty to go, and try not to put any pressure at all on the lead line, and try not to make any garbage can lid noises unless it's a matter of safety. And Rosie?
Okay. G. G.
So she's asking for G, right-hand turn.
Whoa.
She asked for a whoa.
Back. Back.
Now back. And he's shaking his head a little bit, which is often the case when you're training.
Good boy.
Yes,
good.
Very good. When you're training either a bovine or an equine to give you a back.
Step up.
Step up.
No, not quite.
Okay, she's
Good
just
boy.
using the
Good
drive
boy.
lines as kind of a little tap.
Ha. We're going to go that way.
And she's asking for ha, which means left.
Good boy.
Good boy, Rusty.
Whoa. Back up. Back.
She's asking
Good
for back.
boy.
Yes.
Good boy.
Nice back. Very nice. I'd love for you to give him a carrot. Do you need a few extras? I have some more in my pocket.
I got one.
Yeah, he's done really well.
Hey. Yeah, you're good.
All right.
Whoa.
One more time around, and then we'll say we're done for today, and we've reached our interim success objective, which is reviewing, attacking all my miniature Zebu Bull Rusty for pulling.
G. We're going to go right. G. Oh. Good boy. Let's see. Ha. Yep.
You see, while you're doing that, Rosie, we're actually reviewing over the haunches, too, because when he hawed just then, he didn't pick up his legs. He just pivoted over the haunches, which is a very important movement.
Easy. Hey.
When pulling.
Hey.
Oh, beautiful.
Back.
Oh, he looks just beautiful.
Back. No. Back. Sort of. Back. Almost. Back.
See, he's not moving his
Rusty.
legs. So one ever so slight answer. And then when he gives ever so slight the correct answer, Rosie will give him praise. Good.
Step up.
Good. There you go.
Oh.
There you go. See, in the
Good.
future, we'll have confidence. We won't need the lead line. We'll have a garbage can lid and noisemaker close by in case there's a sudden change in attitude. But, oh, no, we just did really well today, Rusty. We're very proud of you. And in your next lesson, we'll review this again, and we'll hit you up to your farm implement. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Rosie. And thank you, dear Bull Rusty. Sonia Sokolow, Urban Cowgirl, saying goodbye for now. www.thesokolos.com/UCC. Click on the Miniature Zebu tab, and you'll see all the prior shows of us working with Rusty and Susie.
Shadrack Stables at Midmore Farms. Sadie and Eve. Sammy. Rusty and Susie. www.thesokolos.com.